Good morning, good morning. I think it's still morning time for a lot of you all. I've been up for about 2 hours doing some studying and digging into some things as it relates to Uganda's and the finding of gold in Uganda. And I knew that when this story was released, that it was something bigger than um, on the surface, that you have to really dig deep and to know what the hidden per se agenda was behind this. And so this morning I just woke up earlier than usual and had this on my mind, and I saw that Mike at Rethinking the Dollar. You all come in and hit that thumbs up. Had a live stream on. There's not many YouTubers that I've searched that's talking about this or has covered this story. So I want to put my perspective together, and then I'm going to put some clips of Mike and his perspective of what he feels like will happen. But getting right into the topic, right, as I'm sharing this on other platforms, so I can focus on this now. Getting right into the topic. Let's break this down, what it means, and then I'll show you the what I've researched, what it means up to this point. In short, it means that silver is the new gold. Silver is the new gold. It also means that, and let me put this ticker on there, that certain cryptocurrencies, right, also will rise as a result, and that the US dollar will fall. The dominance of the dollar, it will no longer be the world reserve currency. I've been saying it for about a year, and I've had some people that always want to contest me on that issue. All know the dollar will never lose its dominance. Um, that would never happen, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, Russia and China are the powerhouses right now. Russia owns the oil there, right? Russia owns the oil and that commodity, and China now owns the silver. I'm going to show you this shift of how China, and well, the gold, the silver and the gold, and I'm going to show you the shift of exactly what this announcement, right, means for the global financial reset. What this announcement means for the global financial reset. So, you all, this is a morning live stream. I may have a little different energy, may not, but let's go. Let's get rolling, and let's break this down. So, you already have Putin that has announced that the unipolar world order is gone forever. The unipolar world order is gone forever. So some people may be hearing or seeing things and they don't quite understand what that means. Some people are not seeing or hearing anything. Their attention is in celebrating. Nothing wrong with these things, but I'm just saying, not everyone attention is on what's going on in the global monetary, the Great Reset. Whether they're watching NBA championships, whether they're celebrating Juneteenth and getting ready now for Independence Day, whatever it is, most Americans either see these things and don't know what they mean, and they keep going because they don't have an understanding or a realization of what it means, right? And this is something that I think the school system has really invoked in a lot of Americans and a lot of people. is to always depend on a teacher to stand in front of you and break things down instead of being self independent learners yourselves. So when it comes to your finances, right, there's a time and place for do it yourself, and there's also a time and place for done for you. But even if something is done for you, you should at least have a knowledgeable information to do your own independent research so you can position yourself to ask qualified questions, right? For example, I've been telling you all about the stock market is going to crash, and a lot of people 401ks are going to be wiped out, which is going to affect their retirement plans, um, and maybe up to 5 years or longer, and that you can connect with some experts about that I have connections with. If you when you text cash flow, that's on the screen about rolling that over to protect your losses in your 401k to a what's called a PRA account. But even after you get off the phone with the expert, when it comes to things like your retirement and things of that nature, take notes, take copious notes, and do a little Google and get some understanding yourself, so you can know if this is the best decision for you. Don't always be a person that depends on someone, like in a school setting, because we know that schools is never designed to make anyone rich and to never understand the financial system, especially on a global level, for someone to dissect things and to just teach you. However, if you are learning from people that's teaching you material, then show some appreciation, right? Show some appreciation and show support if you are learning. So let's go over what does this quote mean by Putin. The unipolar world order is gone forever. Notice forever. This was released June 17th, 2022. This said this era is gone despite attempts to revive it and hold on to it at any cost. So the unipolar system is a system in which one government control, mainly the United States, under the condition of international or global, right, predominance of power, has no competition. Well, now Russia and China has the power and the oil and the gold, right? And now they have more just power and dominance over the United States. So thank you, Miss Weeks. I was on that other screen. Thank you so much. I tell people all the time that numbers 11 and 10 are the numbers of increase, and I give thanks for that super chat and for your quick and substantial increase to return to you in the same effective and efficient way that you gave it out. According to Deuteronomy 1:11, affirmation over your super chat that the Lord, the God of our ancestors, will increase you 1,000 times more. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So with that being said, Russia, right, is now China's, and we're going to go all the way into this. And what does this have to do with silver being the new gold? What does this have to do with US dollar no longer being the world reserve currency and dominance of power? And why the United States is not going to, I talked to some military people and they said, the United States is going to go in and, set up businesses to help Uganda mine and retract that gold through mining. No, they won't. This is China's gold already, and I'm gonna show you. But Russia is now China's biggest oil supplier, overtaking Saudi Arabia, Arabia, as Western demand for its crude oil has dropped. This was released 49 minutes ago. So Russia is supplying its oil to China. China is building its true wealth and gold from Africa and now through Uganda. And this discovery, if it, even exists, but what happens is, and what I mean, even exists about the 12.8 trillion dollars worth of gold. What this does, just even on the announcement of it, is it debases, in my opinion, it debases gold, right? Queen, what do you mean debases gold? Okay, well, we have supply and demand in everything, right? Um, we have supply and demand in everything that we do. And so let me pull up some articles. And so when supply and demand comes in and it is more supply, again, the announcement of $12.8 trillion of gold, then that means the value of it now can be suppressed and oppressed of however way government decides the convertibility amount means, what gold is at $1,800 right now. Right now that more supply is, whether it's true or false, has been found, just upon the news of that will not make gold this, pie in the sky of a precious metal, right? That people were hoping for these big numbers to come about. I've been telling people for a long, long, long time that gold is for kings, right? Gold is for kings. Gold is for hoarding. Gold is for storing and storage. It is not for spending, and that's not going to change because whatever central banks and their possessions, whatever countries has the most gold, those country has the monetary power. Because gold and silver is real money. Most people have never held money in their hand. They've only held fiat cash, dollars, paper currency, which is government debt certificates, IOUs. They never held real silver and gold in their hands. So what this announcement does is it's a shift. It's a definite shift. And again, the United States being the world reserve currency, right? This has been other countries, central banks holdings and accumulation of gold. And again, the country that has the gold has the power. So the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, released this article a couple of days ago, June 6th. And this is by the ton. So you see the Eastern African, Egypt has the largest increases, Turkey, Argentina, India, Ireland. Like the United States is not even listed, right? North America, Western Europe, Germany, all of these, and more accumulation of gold. And then you got South Asian, Central Asia, Northwest Africa, all of these gold reserve. And China is number one, East Asia, China, the number one accumulator, and Japan coming in second, um, and Russian Federation number six. Then South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Singapore. I won't get out into Saudi Arabia and during the Obama administration and everything with that. However, again, United States is not on here. So the United States dominating and it's being the world reserve currency. That's over with. That's over with. So I'm going to teach you, and then I'm going to show you why that matters. because people that still is stacking cash, right? Um, and not cash flow, not things that cash flow. People that are still hustling for the dollar and not converting the dollar into things that's going to be a part of this reset, they're going to lose big time. I always use this example of Argentina's money that I have that's worth less now. That's worthless. And the one example was a lady said that she had a wheelbarrow of Argentina bills. She went into a grocery store to purchase groceries. When she came out of the grocery store, the wheelbarrow was stolen, and the currency, the paper, printed money was still on the ground. Right. Um, you heard that gold is very high in Dubai also. What you mean very high in terms of what? How much an ounce? So with this being the new report, the more supply of gold, and will it be mined? Um, I don't know. I don't know if China will mine it, but I do know that um, if it really exists, right, or if it's just a report to keep the price of gold suppressed. Because again, many people don't know during 1930s Great Depressions, and that depressions happens every 75 to 100 years, first and foremost. So if you add 75 years to 1933, they came into 2008, and that was just a recession, really, right? And so when the depression came, the government, right before the depression, made it illegal. It was not until the 70s that it was legal for United States citizens to even be able to purchase gold again. And so up to 1930s depression, um, the government made it illegal for United States citizens to own gold. So they had to turn in their gold. They would either get a $10,000 fine or 10 years in jail, or both if they did not, if they were caught with the possession of gold. Now, the government did in return give them their fiat currency, which is cash. When I say fiat currency, I'm speaking in terms of cash money. And now, when 1971, when Henry Kissinger and Nixon removed cash currency from the convertibility back to gold, that made, and the petrodollar ended, because now Russia is not, and Saudi Arabia is not accepting the United States dollar for its oil. So now the petro era has ended as well. And this is why I've been telling people silver, people, will be the new gold. In a bull market, silver outperforms gold. It outperforms gold in a bull market. Silver is both industrial use and monetary use. Gold, on the other hand, is really just to hoard, to hold, to pass on generational wealth, and for central banks and other countries to have the power over other countries by having gold in their storage. So they don't want American citizens to have any incentives to want gold. So this is another supply increase of gold, 12.8 trillion, not billion. And Uganda is in debt to China for billions of dollars. I think um, about 1 billion or more so dollars. And the government, whether people want to debate me about the dollar will never lose its world reserve currency or not, the government has already announced. Let me play that for you. They've already told you. People do not listen, and they don't do their own research when I always tell people, for example, to fact check me. And then if I found something that they brought to the table that I may need to restate or say it another way, then I'll come back. But I saw this on Rethinking the Dollar Show, and I'm going to play it for you all because he's already did some research. So why should I, go back? Of Chairman Jerome Powell saying that the dollar's already lost its reserve currency. So people that stack in dollars, cash, and not converting it into like silver, uh, coins, like and crypto coins, certain cryptos, and knowing what type of silver to invest in, whether it be rounds or bullions or bars. Definitely not collectible silver. You know, you want silver that does not have to report back to the government through a 1099B form. So this is all the education that people, in my opinion, would need. And that's why I have my website strolling, queenofcoinsilver.com. You need to visit their website so you can educate yourself on this. But let's play this clip. This is from Rethinking the Dollar, Mike. So I thought this was some great information. Let's play this.
Our own FedNow service will be coming online in 2023.
And in light of tremendous growth in crypto assets and stablecoins, we are examining whether a U.S. central bank digital currency.
Okay, let me pause there. First, he said crypto assets and stablecoin. Anybody tell you that cryptocurrency is a Ponzi scheme or a scam? They're not educated, right? You have to bless them and move on. But I will tell you this: there are some cryptocurrency that are Ponzi schemes. There are some cryptocurrency Ponzi schemes going around about, send me money, I'll invest in these cryptos for you. You should do that for yourself, where it requires your driver's license and identification for you to invest or purchase crypto. Also, know that there's over, I think it's about 19,000 cryptos at this point. When this regulation comes into play, all of these, pump and dump cryptos and all of these junk cryptos, they're going to be pretty much rinsed out of the washing cycle, or in other words, done away with. So I also have a crypto educational program that people need, and most people, unfortunately, do not want to invest in education, right? Because the school system, again, which education should promote people to think, not to learn only certain topic. The purpose of education should provoke and promote people to think, not tell people what to think, but to teach people how to think. But most people have not been taught how to think. They want answers. They want people to stand in front of them. They don't want to fact check, even when it comes to their own money and investing. And a lot of that mentality is going to have a lot of people, because there won't be a middle class. The middle class is either going to be based off of their decision making and what they're investing in. Either is going to be moved up to a richer class or a poverty class. That's it. The middle class will be wiped away, right? And because of their decisions during this great reset, and knowledge also is the new money. Knowledge is the new money. And so, the Bible tells you that King Solomon, the richest man in the Bible, asked for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? And so with that being said, the type of tokens that you need to research in this crypto market are tokens that has to do with the metaverse, that has to do with decentralized financing, gaming tokens, game financing tokens, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, and memes. There are some memes tokens. that would be very, very low entry to get in with high profits. You know, I always reference in 2017, $100 invested in XRP, 3 years later made millionaires, for example. And then you have yield farming, and then you have cryptos that you need to be able to identify by the highest market cap. This is all the educational platform that you should know. So let's get back to this. And Mike.
And then there's a ultimate war that leads to the next currency being brought out here. And so I just put out here 2023.
So Mike is saying here about 2023, next year, US dollar gone. I don't know if y'all can see this real well, but it goes to, he starts at great research, Mike. Thank you. Rethinking the dollar. Portugal from 1450 to 1530. That currency lasted 80 years. Spain's currency from 1530 to 1640 lasted 110 years. That's my number, 1111. And Netherlands lasted 80 years, right? France currency, physical currency, lasted 95 years, from 1720 to 1815. Britain lasted 105 years, and the United States, beginning in 1921, when they brought in the Fed, the banks, Federal Reserve, 101 years. So far, Spain's currency at 110 years has been the longest running paper currency that lasted. And next, going into 2023, we'll mark 102. No currency, no physical reserve currency lasts forever. So the time for the dollar's reign has ended.
Is when we might hear an announcement of an alternative that the world will recognize. That's just my suspicion. But anyway, back to this. So let me actually, for those that are tuned in, let me actually play for you this short clip that I put out there on the Twitter sphere talking about, or with Jerome Powell giving his little spiel.
In providing cross-border liquidity to support the real economy. Looking forward, rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary system that may affect the international role of the dollar in the future. Most major economies already have or are in the process of developing instant 24/7 payments.
So are you all hearing this from Jerome Powell? Let me replay that. I need people to hear this and realize what he's saying.
For years, give or take, events occur throughout that time frame, lessening the dependency on that particular currency due to indebted nation growing well beyond their means with debt, not able to sustain it. So they go to war, they create debt, and then there's a ultimate war that leads to the next currency being brought out here. And so I just put out here 2023 is when we might hear an announcement of an alternative that the world will recognize. That's just my suspicion. But anyway, back to this. So let me actually, for those that are tuned in, let me actually play for you this short clip that I put out there on the Twitter sphere talking about, or with Jerome Powell giving his little spiel.
In providing cross-border liquidity to support the real economy. Looking forward, rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary system that may affect the international role of the dollar in the future. Most major economies already have or are in the process of developing instant 24/7 payments. Our own FedNow service will be coming online in 2023. And in light of the tremendous growth in crypto assets and stablecoins, we are examining whether a U.S. central bank digital currency would improve upon what is an already safe and efficient domestic payment system.
Safe and efficient.
As our white paper on this topic.
So just listen to this. This is the part that tripped me out.
In the global monetary system that may.
Listen to this.
Rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary. Looking forward, rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary system that may affect the international role of the dollar in the future.
Okay, he said rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary system that will affect the US dollar, the role of the US dollar in the future. I'm going to read, I think Mike is pausing, I'm pausing. So for the people that tell me, oh, the US dollar will never lose, it's already lost it. And we're going to see this reset in 2023. And this is why, thank you, D. Wow and Sandra Wicks. Thank you again for the $10 super check. And thank you, D. Good morning to everyone that says good morning as well. And this is why I've been telling people, like, you better roll your dollars over into some assets. They're going to be worthless going into 2023. Or if you get on a universal basic UBI, it's going to be in central banks' digital currency system. People, this is going to affect the way you do your taxes. This is going to affect how that the government is going to know every transaction that you make on the blockchain. So this is why getting in cryptocurrencies that's outside the government, which is called decentralized, like Bitcoin, is so important. And definitely, Ms. Weeks, right now, silver, because this whole China heat waves, all the Uganda finding $12.8 trillion worth of gold. This is by design. Your gold is not going to, just like it did not in 1930s, it is going to be suppressed and controlled by the government. Because government, one thing they do not want is the citizens, either one of these two things going to happen. Either the price is not going to spike, as people are hoping is going to be. And I always ask people anyway, if you go by the mindset that gold is God's money, why would you even want to trade it back in and convert it back into man's money, which is government's money? Like, why would you want to do that? Right? That's something that, and then I've heard people say, well, I can use the barter system with gold. I can trade it for, um, to buy chicken or cow. Well, they just reported that thousands of cows in Kansas died because of the heat, right? But I'm like, as hot as it is in the South and Africa, and cows are still surviving in the southern states, is it much hotter in Kansas than the southern states? Why aren't the cows in the southern states also dying off from heat exhaustion? But that's a whole other live stream, right? See, you got to understand what's going on. Why people are valuing being entertained and talking about Steph Curry and the Boston Celtics. Listen, that all has its place. I'm not against that. But what I'm saying, you need to be aware of what's been going on during that NBA championship on a bigger scale when it comes to this monetary system. So let Mike talk. Finish this.
Brought out here. And so I just put out here 2023 is when we might hear an announcement of an alternative that the world will recognize. That's just my suspicion. But anyway, back to this. So let me actually, for those that are tuned in, let me actually play for you this short clip that I put out there on the Twitter sphere talking about, or with Jerome Powell giving his little spiel.
In providing cross-border liquidity to support the real economy. Looking forward, rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary system that may affect the international role of the dollar in the future. Most major economies already have or are in the process of developing instant 24/7 payments. Our own FedNow service will be coming online in 2023. And in light of the tremendous growth in crypto assets and stablecoins, we are examining whether a U.S. central bank digital currency would improve upon what is an already safe and efficient domestic payment system.
Safe and efficient.
As our white paper on this topic.
So just listen to this. This is the part that tripped me out.
Global monetary system that made
listen to this.
Rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary. Looking forward, rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary system that may affect the international role of the dollar in the future.
All right. That's all he needed to say. Changes are taking place in the global monetary system that will impact the future use of the dollar. Putin said that unipolar world is over. Now he's talking about these changes. What exactly is he talking about? Oh, could this have anything to do with the shift away and the creation of something, a new alternative? Which, of course, it's already created. It's already done. The computer code is already written. The bricks are already ready to roll. They just need more pain, more devastation in between so that it makes it easier to make that announcement in the end. And of course, at this current moment, all those nations that are moving away from the dollar, they're still sitting on large stockpile of fiat, Federal Reserve note, and Treasury stockpiles. So you can't just dump them things because everything will come down at once. So you got to slowly but surely lessen your dependency on U.S. liabilities by spending them in real time. And so you factor in the Fed is fighting inflation, but then you got all those other nations unloading all those dollars into the system. They have to go somewhere. Where do they go? They go to real world things. So if you're China, you already spent trillions or maybe $1 trillion or $2 helping develop Africa for your own purposes. You got
And yes, China has already developed Africa for its own purposes. I think I told you all on a previous live stream that China for years has been moving its men into or positioning their men by marrying the women in Africa, because through their marriage union, when they marry that African woman, they then have control of that land. The men do. So there's more land. Africa sits on all the wealth and minerals than any other country, right? That's the way our infinite God made it. But China has the control. So you got China, Russia, and the long unipolar movement. I told you what unipolar means is when one currency system, like the United States dollar or the United States dominance, controls other countries. So this was an article people written in 2016. And notice, let me enlarge this so make sure you can see it. It says in 1990, this has been a long orchestrated plan. 1990, right, declared the unipolar movement, arguing the center of the world power is unchallenged superpower, the United States. So the word movement predicts unbalanced power. Unipolar international system should catalyze on the emergence of new great powers with a quick return to balance of power politics. Meaning America the Great, the Babylon is going to fall. So your cash dollars, for the people that have enough of them, needs to be converted, people, into assets. This is why I have cash flow on the screen and not the word cash. Cash flow comes from assets. And most people will not have assets, or they don't have enough cash right now to get assets. Grant Cardone said this years ago. Right, Grant Cardone said this years ago that most Americans have a medium household of $52,000. So you don't have a debt problem, in essence. You have an income problem. Most people do not have enough money to invest or convert their cash dollars, which will be worthless. So that means when the central bank's digital currency, as Jerome Powell has said, comes out next year, which means you all have less than half of a year to prepare. You have approximately 6 months. 6 months to get this right. 6 months. So, because it's going to be a harsh winter, because the reset is going to start spiraling in next year, probably around the spring. Central bank's digital currency will be released, though, which means those people that's like on a universal basic income, they're going to be told either you have to spend this money that's going to be digitally operated by central banks, or it's going to go away. It's going to expire. So saving will not be an option anymore, where people will want to save their way to wealth. And as Rob Kiyosaki says, why would you want to save something that they're printing out anyway? What you want to do is convert it into assets, things that's going to continue to increase in its equity and continue to bring you in cash flow, or the increase in the capitalism of it. So now you got China, and also these heat waves is not just affecting the United States and the cows, and people's utility bills. I really, really, and this is from my heart, I do not understand how people are not doing anything to increase their cash flow. How are you surviving if you are still operating off last year's wages for 2022 prices? I would like to know how you even surviving. With gas and groceries increasing, your utility bills are about to skyrocket if you haven't seen it already. I agree, Red Star, but Africa and Uganda don't even have uh, the the power to mine this gold if it's true that they found it. Again, to me, this is just uh, something that was released by media to increase, or to say that the increase of the gold supply has been found in the earth, which means supply and demand. The more supply, the less it will increase in value. And as I've been telling people, Red Star, silver, it is less available silver right now than gold. And the 1111 code is all over silver. Since 2011, silver has never reached its all-time high of $50 an ounce since 2011. And since 2011, JP Morgan hoarded over 350 million ounces of silver. That's 38% of the world's population. So you need to know what these big corporations are doing and mimic that to the best of your ability. But some people will not get their cash flow up so they can do that. Like, do you know how many big corporations bought in at Bitcoin this weekend at $17,500? Wow. Everyday middle class people were selling off their Bitcoin because they got afraid. This was a scare tactic to get weak hands out of cryptocurrency. And some people, unfortunately, took the plunge. They sold in that dip, and big corporations came in and bought. Because as Bitcoin is meant to be inflation proof, it's a supply and demand. So there's going to be less Bitcoin available, but more gold, according to how the government is creating this story. Less silver, less Bitcoin, less Ethereum, more gold. So whatever there's less in, that's what smart people invest in. Because it's all about supply and demand. So you don't stack dollars when they're printing dollars and printing more dollars. You convert those dollars into assets. And the number one asset I've been telling people also they need to have is this home-based business that I have. Because you're going to need tax protection in order to keep your wealth. You're going to need all of these 475 tax credit. And people can get that for under $200, and they do not convert their cash money or their credit cards into a home-based business. Most don't convert it into silver, which is still under $30. And most do not convert it into these cryptos that will be a part of the ISO 222 and the Great Reset of this global financial system. So China now, power demands, new set record. They're also saying they're having Beijing heat waves. the power consumption, and due to warmer type weather. So people, if you don't think this weather is orchestrated, I can't, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just showing you. I'm just showing you, right? What's going on. You think for yourself and make decisions accordingly. Central bank digital currency and universal basic income for the masses is the end game. They are eventually going to stop retail investors from having. That's what I've been telling them, Z. Z, the truth is the truth. Some people that if you and I've been telling you all, store your crypto, cold wallet, get it off these exchanges. I have to focus on doing it more today myself with some more cryptos that I acquired in the dip this weekend. It's going to come to a point that everyday people, like you said, retail investors will not even be able to get into crypto. Z the Truth says it's all in the documents of the World Economic Forum. So Z the Truth, this is why I'm telling people those cryptos that's going to be a part of this great reset. You need to get in now, and you need to get in while it's cheap. You need to get in now, and you need to get in while it's cheap. But if people don't build their cash flow, Z the Truth, they will not be able to get coins like silver or crypto, because they are depending on one source of income, and that's usually active income, and that's not going to make it. That's not going to get you investing money, not that you need to make it, because this is going to last longer than 2008 recession. This is going to be a long time. Food shortages is going to be a common thing. Not just women's sanitary supplies now that's not available. Not just children's, infants' milk. You're going to see shortages of certain items for a long time. So you're going to need to inflate your cash now more than ever before it crashes next year. Inflate your cash. What do you mean by that, Queen? Put it in assets. Is Uganda going to lose the international airport? People, it was November of 2021. Due to Chinese debt, Uganda is in $1.6 billion of debt to China. So Uganda find this gold, 12.8 trillion. See the relationship? That's who's going to get it. Not the United States. That's China's gold. Because they're in debt to China at least for 1.6 billion. And so they did end up losing this airport. Uganda could very well have to forfeit its Treasure International Airport if it fails to repay the loan. At this time, it was 207 million. Now it's like 1.6 billion. Absolutely mismanaged, as they're saying, it's mismanaged by the Uganda government. The East African country is the world's bank's heavily indebted poor countries list. So even if they have found this gold, 12.8 trillion, they don't have the power, the resources to mine it. And China's going to come in, and then they're in debt to China. So China again have already been acquiring more gold in its central banks than the United States. You saw China. If you just joining in, I showed earlier China and Japan were the top two countries. United States was not even listed in the top 10. And because gold and silver is real money, the country that has the gold and silver in the central banks has the power. It is questioned if United States even have much gold in its central banks. The only thing that made us the powerhouse up to the 1971 was that we have the military, right? Now China has the military. Now Russia has the oil. China has the gold. China has Africa. right? China has Uganda, and to get our dollar accepted. But these other countries says that's over with. We're no longer accepting your dollar when we have the commodities. We're no longer taking your dollars when we are doing more exporting into the United States than the United States is importing into us. Why should we take your dollar? You're dependent on us. We're not dependent on you. And that's what it is. So Russia and China, China and Africa. Russia is now China's biggest oil supplier, overtaking Saudi Arabia as the Western demand for its crude has dropped. So that's my breakdown. That's why silver is the new gold. Also note that they're saying a new variant is on the rise as well. I was telling people when this was first released what the ultimate agenda is. Yeah, he said we have no gold. I believe that people question all the time. People question all the time, what are they protecting at Fort Knox anyway? Fort Knox, they're saying what are they what really are they protecting in Fort Knox? Because there's no gold there. Out of Kentucky. It's like it's no gold there. They just got protection up there to, make people think that it's gold. What's up? So this new variant keeps getting worse and says, you know what, the jab wasn't the answer. Even Fauci just last week said he has um, that he got the C-19, right? The person that was telling you all or most Americans what to do not to get it. I don't teach on Forex, so I'm not qualified to answer that question. I'm not qualified to answer that. I don't teach, nor do I do any trading in the Forex market. It's crypto for me, it's coins, and it's cash flow. And specifically, it's silver coins only. Those are my 3 C's that I teach on. So, because silver is the new gold with this release, and is more scarce than gold is, and it's going to be used for both industrial and monetary use. I'm going to ask you all to visit the Queen of Coins report. You can also go to my website that's strolling down the bottom of the screen, Queen of Coin Silver.com, and get that auto ship. Get in that auto ship. And if you would like to add an income source by helping other people acquire more gold, you can do it as well. You can come in, you can do it for just a $40 auto ship, or you can become an affiliate and get daily pay from helping other people acquire gold. On auto ship, I tell people now is the time to be an automatic millionaire or a multimillionaire or even a thousandaire. To just go ahead and put your wealth on an auto ship, like you do your cell phone bill or your cable bill. That's not giving you your cell phone bill is, but let's say your Sirius FM, Sirius radio, that's not giving you a return on investments. All those other bills that you have on auto ship. Also, text cash flow. I have a 7-minute video for you, 254-788-1144. I'm showing you how to convert your cash also into a cash flowing work from home business. As you see, they are saying the new C-19 is another variant is on the rise. We may have to go through another shutdown as this reset happens, as this currency system reset. There's a lot of stuff that's had to be broken down, including the economy. So you want to have your plan to get passive income from home. 95% of Americans have active income. meaning they have to trade a whole lot of their time for a little bit of cash. So what you do is help. I've seen posts specifically on Facebook that everything is going up except the pay rate. So what you do is you help people how to learn how to increase their credit scores, get an instant pay raise out of their paycheck within 24 hours to see if they qualify for that, and to increase their cash flow. And also by simply uploading their bills online, getting a discount. As I showed you, our utility bills are increasing. So getting a discount on the bills that you're already paying, with all of those intertwined within one another, now you have the money to invest in cryptocurrency and to invest in silver coins. So Sandra said the company is awesome. Thank you, Miss Weeks. People like us, I don't know who us is. When people say that, I'm like, wait, don't put me in us category. But I haven't even read the entire sentence. But a lot of times, people say that on my Facebook. And I'm like, okay, who is us? But let me read the rest. People like us who are early adopters of crypto will be straight. Okay, I am that us in this situation. Sometimes people say things like, the government is always trying to suppress us. Well, you know what? This is not a racial thing anymore. Like I said earlier, knowledge is a new power. Whoever do not want the knowledge, no matter what race you are, is going to be in more poverty. I was watching the Jeffersons this morning, and the Jeffersons, and on the Jefferson, George was contemplating selling his dry cleaning business. And one of his workers, according to the agreement of who he was selling the business to, was 63 years old. And on the sale of the business, the new company said anyone over the age of 60 will be fired. And so his wife Louise was like, well, George, you can't fire, him. He's a great worker just because he's 63. So George said, well, let me get on the phone and talk to the CEO and make sure and tell him that this employee has to stay. So George got on the phone, called the man up, and he was like, well, good news is you won't be fired. You're just going to be forced to retire. And he said, what am I? Well, I don't know what to do in retirement. This is where I feel my worth is in my job. My wife passed away 3 years ago. And George said, oh, you can go to the park and play checkers. You can feed the pigeons. He said, you can travel the world. Why not travel to other countries? And then his wife Louise said, well, it's hard to travel off of a Social Security payment. The world off of Social Security, George. Most people get to retirement age and they cannot even enjoy it in a luxury way because they have a fixed finance like Social Security or a 401k or a pension that's not even paying out enough to keep up with the cost of living. And these people make no changes in increasing their cash flow. They stay at their ceiling and at their level of financial suppression. It's all about your mindset too. So he said people who don't want to be able to go get it because our poor people will be stuck. That's true. Poor people will be stuck with central bank digital currency. That is true. And universal basic income through that. That's absolutely true. Early crypto adopters are 1%. I eventually think they will not allow people to buy fractional shares. This would be the poorhouse. I agree. When these regulations come into play, and central banks digital currencies, and this is why they're creating the whole the entire you know they're building this scenery right now. First it was Terra Luna crash. People lost millions. And then after Terra Luna crash, right, then you had Celsius Network, Nexo Network, network that was not allowing people to pull their cryptos out during this crash, freezing their accounts. So some people sold crypto over the weekend because they got afraid. I don't know why. Why would you be afraid of a paper loss? Because they don't understand what they have in their possessions. If they had the right cryptos anyway. Now, if you had some junk cryptos, then maybe you did well to, sell what you had. But I tell people there's a lot of people that's going to be sitting under a shade tree telling their grandchildren and great grands, once upon a time, I had Bitcoin and I converted it back into cash. And if I would not have done this, I would have been retired and rich. And we could have been traveling and seeing the world. Or I would not have been on my job, as everything is back in the green. It's a scare tactic. Because again, you have 6 months. And if you don't get in, please get your cryptocurrency off the exchange. If you don't know what that means, you need to text crypto to the number strolling down 331-444-5556 so you can get the education, a lot of educational videos that teaches you how to do that and teaches you what cryptos will be a part of this reset. Acorn up 17%. Some of these gains people don't get in years in 401ks or index, other investments that they have. They don't get it in years. And I don't understand as well why people will buy in the green. They will buy now when it's green because they need to see faith. They need faith. They need to believe in this. And I tell people all the time, don't invest in this if you don't believe in it. If you don't believe in it, you're not willing to listen to an hour live stream. You're not willing to educate yourself. Get in something like silver, but for most people, silver does not cash flow. It will increase your capital gains. That's why I'm trying to get people to increase their cash flow first before they even get into silver coins or crypto. But silver and these top crypto is going to be a part of this great reset. Those two things, and increasing your cash flow and increasing your tax shelters, because the government always know how to get money back from people that's uneducated financially, and that's through taxes. And people, let me say this, I'm gonna log off. Good morning, Gwen. Good morning, Gwen. Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you so much, Gwen. And appreciate you for the cash app as well. And I am a firm. I have to think. It's morning, so my mind is still a little brain freeze. But hey, Curtis coming in. I'm affirming, going that you have large, steady, dependable, permanent financial income, cash flow, and assets now. Every day in every way, you are growing and growing, and you are financially prosperous now. So that's what I'm going to affirm over and decree. The Bible says you shall decree a thing, and it shall be established unto you. So that's what I'm going to decree over your cash out. And thank you again. Curtis says, yes, people in the green, they have, look, and you know what? You can't have faith in anything that you don't want to learn about. That's why people don't have faith, because they don't want to learn. When you learn about something, your belief increases, your faith increases. Ethereum got upcoming changes. Ethereum is predicted to be $1 trillion asset, whereas Bitcoin is predicted to be $1 billion asset. And someone on Facebook asked me, should I invest in Ethereum when it was $1,000? It went to $700 this weekend. I told them yes. I don't think they're going to do it though, just because of their mindset, and someone else told them no. I'm like, okay, that's on you. Do you keep being, middle class, keep not having a bigger financial vision for yourself. Just keep on, doing you. And as I told people, the only thing Harvest Finance up 25%. People, I don't get paid. I YouTube, for my videos, whatever I teach on is a passive income stream for me. But that number down on the screen, that's an affiliate program. It's not a passive income program. Meaning that they're giving me 50% when people sign up for the financial education on it one time. It's not so. In other words, people, I don't really have a big motive other than I know what's coming ahead and I want to teach people because this is the opportunity for people to really become wealthy, like for real. And for the people that follow me and give to me and people like Gwen and Ms. Weeks that support the channel information, I'm going to over deliver and under charge in a sense. But I'm not getting like kickbacks because I value passive income over active anyway. For that crypto educational course, it's like $297. They give me 50% of that and that's it. So, I don't really even have to talk about it. I'm telling you to get in that silver and auto ship for $40. That's just an auto ship program, no kickback at all. So most of this I just do because if I don't teach it, I don't sleep well. So I teach it. I allow God to give me peace. Because sometimes I don't want to get on here and say certain things and teach. But then I don't have peace behind it. So, me and God got that arrangement. And I'm glad I didn't tell people to get in things like Celsius or Nexo. I did mention Nexo to my Patreon. That's something I never mentioned privately. I never told people, but I always told people to research these exchanges. Coinbase has already said if they go bankrupt, that your money's going with them or your cryptos. So get you Coinbase Pro, right? Not your keys, not your crypto. Put your physical silver on auto ship. Silver outperforms gold in a bull market, and this Uganda news have just increased the gold supply supposedly, which means they're not going to allow gold because they want to hoard it to be an incentive for everyday people to want to have. Gold is not going to give people the returns they are expecting, but silver will. Silver definitely will. And I'm not going to be on here telling, answering every D. I just put the number up again for crypto. Every single thing about crypto when you can just invest in a course. I'm not going to do that. Either you want to invest in or you don't. So people, a lot of people sold over the weekend, right? They sold in the red. They're going to get a big tax bill at the end of the year. Some people going to get big tax bills this year because they sold and flipped crypto and Forex last year. They didn't have tax shelters. And there are simple ways to legally avoid paying taxes through tax and cash flow and to get your cash flow up. People, if this does not bring out a hustle and motive in you to talk about your affiliate programs that can help people financially or your passive income streams that helping people financially, and by helping other people's paycheck increase, you then help your own. By helping others people cash flow increase, you then help your own cash flow. If this don't bring that out in you, then it was never in you. Some people are in network marketing program. I never push selling products. I always teach people financial education. Knowledge is the new money. but they are too afraid to tell people or to talk about it or to post it on their social media. And I posted this morning. I want people to think about this. For my, religious people. Religious, but cannot be rich. Jesus was with Peter, physically with him, right? Not in the sky. He was physically with Peter, and Peter needed money to pay taxes. Jesus did not tell Peter to go pray. He did not tell Peter to, get emotional. He didn't tell Peter to walk or run around the pew 7 times. He didn't say, Peter, go get the olive oil. Let me lay hands on you for a financial wealth transfer. He didn't do any of that. He was physically with him, like touch. They together. He didn't tell him to, say my check will be in the mail, my bills paid off. Through divine knowledge and divine connection, he gave him instructions that prosper his financial affairs. But guess what he told Peter to do to get it? You got to go to work. Peter by trade was an expert fisherman. That was his business. He said, go to work, go fishing, and the money will be there. A lot of people will not accumulate enough crypto or silver coins to really be wealthy because they refuse to go to work and add another source to their income. And all this rich substance that the universe has for you and your rich good that can come to you if you just shifted your mindset. If God was right there with Peter, and Peter still had to go to work, I'm still thinking, people say stuff like, God is bigger than inflation. I'm in God's economy. Well, so was Peter, but he had to go to work to get that money. Faith without action is dead. So, what course for what? If you want the crypto course, you text that number on the screen. You want more cash flow and to leverage your credit to get assets, and to add instantly, immediately, within 24 hours. If you have a job, no. My last business partner, my most recent business partner just joined, for example, has $604 out of her paycheck. That's another Peter Jesus revelation. Some of you all have more money in your paycheck, but you won't text cash flow and take action to get it out your paycheck. You have more money right there in your paycheck because when you add the business to your paycheck, you have just shifted yourself out of an entrepreneur's taxation bracket or tax bracket to from an employee's tax bracket to an entrepreneur, which means you are taxed less from the government by law. They have to tax you less, which brings more income into your household. In other words, it increases your take-home pay. Everybody take-home pay and tax is different. I can't tell you how much yours would be. I just telling you the most recent business partner, her increase was $604 every pay period. And virtually everyone on my team, at the minimum is $300. The maximum amount I've heard up to this point is $1,400 for a married couple. From people that text cash flow and invested 3 digits to double their investments. And now they really do have some wiggle room and some money to invest. So, to get your silver auto ship, which I recommend go to queenofsilver.com, queenofcoin, silver.com. And for the crypto course, text 331-444-5556. And to position yourself to increase your cash flow. And that cash flow number is a 30-day guarantee. If they didn't increase your cash flow, then you have 30 days to let the experts work, and you can cancel and get your full refund. So it's very inexpensive and it's very low risk, and a 30-day money back guarantee. The only way you can lose is you don't take action. So I'm logging off, you all. Good morning. Good morning. Just wanted to break that down for you. The dollar will be reset 2023. My question to you all is, are you positioned? Are you planning? And are you preparing? If not, I can help you prepare, but I cannot help people who don't want to help themselves. All right. You all have a great, great day. You all, if you came in late on this live stream, watch the beginning, and you'll see the reset of the dollar and why silver is the new gold. It will be more valued than gold through Uganda discovering $12.8 trillion worth of gold. And you're going to see Russia, China, and Africa's Uganda connection. And Russia is the dominant of, they have the black oil. They have the black oil. Bitcoin is digital gold. Silver and Ethereum is, and even Litecoin had big gains, but anyway, which was known as digital silver, is going to be the biggest producers and assets that people can have, along with cash flow. And having these tax shelters set up for you so your wealth is not stolen in taxes from the government, and getting the maximum amount that you're supposed to be getting out of your credit and your paycheck, or adding passive residual income stream to your portfolio so that you can create more cash flow, right? Most people with inflation, they do not have enough money to invest. A couple of $100,000 is not going to happen like it did in 2017, where $100 can make you a millionaire. That's not going to happen. This bull run in cryptocurrency, you're going to need thousands in order to get millions, right? I'm logging off, you all. Again, great, great morning. You all have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in with me this morning. You all be safe, be blessed. Queen out.